Yo, what up everybody? So today I want to have a conversation with you guys about Momoshiki's prophecy and whether or not it'll come true. And I want to kind of look at some of the information that we've gotten recently that is making me lean more so towards the fact that Momoshiki's prophecy could very well come true. And I'll tell the anime only viewers, this is going to be safe for you guys to watch. Though I will say that there is some stuff that happens in the Boruto manga that is going to further add into the information that you get in this video. And I would highly recommend reading the Boruto manga, or at least find out what's going on in the Boruto manga when it comes to Momoshiki, because there's some stuff in there that's going to make you scratch your heads and make you kind of come more so onto this side of the fence. So with that being said, once again, this is going to be safe for anime only viewers. So when you look at Momoshiki's prophecy and he tells Boruto that those blue eyes of yours are going to take everything away from you, and we know that in one of Boruto's eyes he has the jougan. We know that the anime went out of its way to kind of show that, okay, Boruto's jougan has a connection to the Sasuke clan, and we know that when Boruto turns 16 years old, he's fighting against Kawaki. The Hidden Leaf Village is absolutely destroyed. We know in one of the openings for the Boruto series that we see Boruto as a young child walking, and there's Konoha in the background, and then we see Konoha several years later absolutely flatline. Presumably that's when the Kawaki attack is taking place. We know that Naruto is potentially dead or he's sealed away somewhere, and we know that Boruto so far looks like the only survivor of Konoha. And when you look at Momoshiki's prophecy, it does seem like that. But I think that when we look at Momoshiki's prophecy, the other thing we have to take into account is the hero's journey. Now, I have a video on my channel called The Path of the Tyrant where I talk about the tyrant's path and basically that whole descension into hell, but I also mentioned the different stages of the hero's journey while this is happening. And when you look at Boruto, Boruto isn't the typical hero when it comes to the hero's journey, but he follows a lot of the same elements. And when you look at what Momoshiki's saying, and he says your blue eyes will take everything away from you, I think that could be kind of a callback to the part of the hero's journey where the hero gets tested and he goes into his inmost cave, and typically this happens around the time that the loss of the father figure occurs. Now in Boruto, we know that he literally has his father, and we know that he has Sasuke, who for all intents and purposes Sasuke is a father figure to him. And while in the Boruto manga currently, if you're like me, you think that there's a possibility that Sasuke might die very soon, but at the same time there's no guarantee that's going to happen. There's also the possibility that Sasuke could escape the situation that he's in, and from a plot perspective it makes sense because from where the manga is currently, Boruto is not yet at the point where the loss of the father figure occurs. But at the same time, because of Momoshiki's prophecy, and because Boruto has such a strong relationship with Sasuke, because Boruto has such a growing relationship with Naruto, and really their relationship only got off rail once Naruto became the Hokage, because before that Boruto had his father at home. Naruto wasn't away from their household as much, and they were very close when Boruto was growing up. So I mean, all that does make sense. Father and son have made the opportunity to get to know each other, but most importantly, when you look at Boruto, he has no type of indication that he wants to be Hokage. He's flat out said that's something he doesn't want to do. But Boruto definitely loves his village. Like, we see Boruto at different points in the series, and I mean, the Boruto manga is what, getting ready to go into, or excuse me, the Boruto anime is getting ready to go into episode 115 as of this recording. Now, when you look at the Boruto anime, it's gone out of its way to show us that Boruto definitely loves his village. Like, he's bounced between the old part of Konoha where Naruto grew up and basically where the shinobi for the most part live, and then he's also been in the central business district, which is on top of the Hokage monument. He's been in the new part of Konoha where those big displays are, where those big screens are, all these various shops and everything. Like, Boruto, we see him riding the train. Boruto loves his village, and when Momoshiki says everything's taken away from you, I think that this could be a deconstruction of Boruto's character. We could see him completely stripped away, and I think from a storytelling perspective, this could give Boruto the first real obstacle, the first real internal conflict for his character, because we've seen Boruto deal with it in parts. Like, when he thought that he lost Naruto, Boruto completely lost his shit during the Boruto movie. When Boruto thinks that his mother has been gravely injured by Momoshiki, Boruto got a tease of what true suffering feels like. He got a tease of what true helplessness feels like. And yet at the same time, in the anime part of the story, Boruto hasn't really re-experienced that fear yet. Like, he's had small doses, but for the most part, there's been a bright, optimistic outcome for all of this. Boruto, as he matures and as the story gets closer to the manga, I think that we could start seeing what we're seeing now in the manga now, where Boruto has had very real situations where somebody in his family almost died, where his father was put in a life or death situation, where even though Naruto was in complete and utter control, Naruto at the same time was facing someone who, if one attack could have hit Naruto could have been killed because Naruto's cells couldn't have regenerated from the damage that was being done. Like, Boruto, as he's getting older in the timeline, is facing real death. And I think that all that kind of ties all the way back into what's happened with Momoshiki. And we know that Momoshiki has returned in the Boruto manga in some type of capacity. And I'll say that as a light spoiler to anime-only viewers, because I'm not going to tell you the context. And when this happens, it's literally only one panel, but I will say that that panel, because of the various things that are going on at that time period, and because Momoshiki's been mentioned more than once since he was killed, I think that that is paying something off. And because of that curse, because the anime and the manga have gone out of its way to tell us that, okay, Boruto is cursed by Momoshiki, that this is a prophecy that is going to come true, I think this be really, really cool. And it just really comes down to, who is Boruto going to lose? Is he going to lose his village? I don't see Konoha suffering the same fate as the Uzumaki clan, where the Uzumaki clan was so destroyed because people thought they were so powerful that they're spread out. I don't see something like with the Uchiha clan, where everyone was wiped out except for a handful of survivors, and a handful being Obito and Itachi and Sasuke. Now, I'm not counting Madara because he wasn't alive at the time, but I mean, that's less than a handful. I'm not thinking something like that's going to happen with the Konoha village. I think that Naruto or somebody probably, or Tsunade or Sakura, somebody probably pulled some type of stunt to keep the villagers alive, similar to what Tsunade did during the pain arc. But I will say this, I think that Boruto is getting ready to go through a world of hurt, and it's just a matter of, is he going to lose his sister, who Boruto is overly protective of? Is he going to lose his mother, who we know Boruto is very crazy about? Is it going to be Sasuke? Is it going to be his father? Because I think that we can write Naruto off. I think we can write Naruto off in this perspective, because when you look at that flash forward sequence, if Boruto's father, if Naruto would have been killed, Boruto would have been more of an emotional wreck than he was. So I think that Naruto could potentially still be alive, because he's still fighting, telling Kawaki, I didn't think you would go this far. And when Kawaki says, like, okay, I'm gonna send you where I sent the 7th, Boruto for a moment looks like he got punched in the gut, but then he proceeds to start fighting Kawaki, and he's got that calm expression on. So I think Naruto could potentially be alive, but at the same time, I think that after we get to the flash forward sequence, I think that's when they're going to pay off what happened with Momoshiki and his prophecy. But I want to know from you guys, who do you think Boruto should lose, and when do you think it should happen? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all into the end. Have an awesome day, guys.